Hey, what's up guys? It's Offbeat here, back with another episode of Behind the Bars, and this week I'm talking about my new track, Long Way to Go. Now, it's quite a lot to cover in this one, so it's probably going to be a two-parter. And before I get started, I also just want to say a big thank you to everyone who has liked and shared the track so far. I can see from the comments already that this one's really resonated with people, which is awesome because, to be honest, I wasn't quite sure how people were going to take this one. It's pretty different to my normal stuff. It's a bit more, it's a lot more personal, and it's not funny. So it's good to know that I can do this kind of stuff and that you guys still like it. And it means that I'm going to probably do more stuff like this in future. So it's very promising that you guys have responded to it so well, so thank you. So Long Way to Go is a song about my lifelong battle with weight loss and how my attitude towards it has changed over the years based on different experiences. In reality, I've actually gone through two separate weight loss transformations, and this song is sort of an amalgamation of both of those. And it was really for the sake of the story and the song, I combined them just to make it flow better and easier to understand. But for this video, or for these two videos, I want to give you a bit of background information about the two separate transformations that I've been through. So I was always pretty overweight as a kid. It didn't really bother me that much until I got to secondary school, and that's when I started to get really sort of self-conscious about it. I didn't really do anything about it though. Rather than try and change it, I just kind of was in denial about it really, and I used to make jokes about it and kind of make fun of myself about it, but deep down, that was kind of a mask really to just hide the fact that it did upset me. The older I got, the worse it got, and once I got to sort of later teens and college years, it became particularly sort of bad, and that line about sex being like a private joke that I wasn't included in is painfully true. And back then my confidence with women was really low. I had lots of female mates, that wasn't a problem, but I just didn't believe that they could ever find me attractive. And looking back now, there are actually plenty of instances where they probably did, but yeah, I just refused to accept it. And like it's funny looking back now, because there were literally times where I'd be like in bed with a girl and she was clearly interested, but I just refused to believe it. So I just in my head just be like, nah, she just wants to be mates, yeah. So yeah, I know. So when I left home, I was about 16 stone, which is well over 200 pounds, and for a guy my height, I'm a pretty short guy, that's a lot. So I was working at a crappy call centre at the time, and I used to go out on my lunch break into town. And I remember one day going out and seeing this girl who was flyering for a gym, and we got chatting, and she asked me if I wanted to join, and like I literally like laughed because it was laughable, the notion of me going to a gym, and I just told her I didn't have time. And I remember her saying to me that, you know, you make time for the things that are important, and if something is important to you, you will find the time to do it. And I just completely sort of shrugged it off and just dismissed it. And then that weekend, I went to a party and just like went absolutely nuts. We got really drunk, took a load of drugs. And the next day, I remember waking up and just feeling like at an all-time low. I was just sort of looking around and just like, I was in a job I hated, didn't have a girlfriend, didn't have any money, hated the way I looked, and I was just like, I need to do something about this, man. I need to sort my life out. So the next Monday, I went out into town on my lunch break, and I bumped into that same girl again. And at the time, I was like, oh my God, it's an omen. And I signed up there and then. And obviously looking back, you know, it's just a coincidence. But at the time, you tell yourself whatever you need to hear. So I went along to this gym, and you've got to understand that like until then, I'd never really even played sport, let alone set foot in a gym. So it was like a pretty daunting prospect for me. But I was very lucky that the people who worked there were very welcoming and understanding. It was good. And yeah, I started exercising, and it was tough at first. Like obviously I was horribly unfit, but even within a couple of weeks, my fitness was increasing and I was able to run further than I'd ever run before. And I started losing weight like ridiculously quickly. So I was about 19, I guess, around this age. So, and because I'd never done any exercise before, my body wasn't used to it, so I literally shed the weight like that. So yeah, it only took 6 months in the end. I went from 16 stone to 10 and a half, and you can see some before and after pictures here, and you can obviously see the difference. And it was amazing. I was absolutely over the moon, you know, because I never thought I could ever do this, and then as soon as I tried, it was not easy, but like much easier than I thought it would be. And I felt amazing as well. You know, what it did for my confidence and my belief in myself is incredible. And I would, you know, anyone else, I would recommend it to wholeheartedly. So that was the first weight loss transformation. There is another one, there's more to this story, but as I say, I'm going to split this video into two, so this is the end of part one. Come back for part two, and I'll see you shortly. Cheers.